Well, the Baltics are on the front lines. They border Russia and Belarus. Of course, you got Kaliningrad. And we know Russia threatens its neighbors. They've invaded Ukraine. And so the threat is real when it comes to the Baltics. And America, I believe, should, with the permission of the host countries, have a presence so that Russia knows that any fight with Latvia, it's a fight with the United States. And it's very important that we stand by our friends. There's about 8 million Baltics people with the three countries combined on the front lines. They need allied support to remain free. And I got to tell you, I am so impressed. You know what Latvia has done since 1990 and 91, getting rid of communism, embracing free markets, and democracy right away. The whole world sees that, and it's a bright light. But we got to stand by our allies that are in a vulnerable spot. I thought it was important for our allies like Latvia to see in our defense bill, by name, $200 million for the Baltic Security Initiative. I think it's important to reassure our friends, but also it forces the Pentagon to make sure they're doing $200 million for the Baltic Security Initiative. And what's important about that? This allows us to work with all three countries and trying to network the three together for sensors, air defense, and all the priorities we want to work on, so we can do it jointly with all three countries. And in the end, we want to improve air defense. We want to improve the naval surveillance capabilities. And most of these priorities, though, are determined at NATO or EUCOM, but we want to make sure that money's there that improves the deterrence and the capabilities for all three countries. I think, first of all, it's very important for the United States to do more to help Ukraine. I'm one of the leaders in Congress for trying to have us do more. We're going to vote next week to do more military aid for Ukraine and also to do tougher sanctions on Russia. And to me, Putin's got to learn he cannot win, that this is a hopeless fight. And we have to do that by the United States standing with Ukraine and our NATO allies to do this. But I think we have to also do things like spend enough money on defense. Latvia is at 4.9%. They're going to go to 5% this coming year. You're doing better than America, but we're going to try to get to 5% as well next year. But spending the right amount of money and investing in deterrence and weapons capabilities, that's what's going to stop a war before it even starts with Russia. Russia needs to know that Latvia is ready, Lithuania is ready, Estonia is ready. They can't win in Ukraine. At some point, they got to realize that. That's what we're doing. But Latvia's stepping up. 4.9% is a tremendous amount, and 5% next year. Burden sharing is interesting. But spending 5% right away, you're doing your part. And America has to follow suit. We've been saying 5%, and we're going to try to get there this coming year. So we're going to try to improve our spending by about $500 billion for defense, which we need that if we want to modernize our nuclear capabilities and do more F-35s, F-47s, the newest aircraft, but also invest in drone technology. I want to thank Latvia for the investments they've made for our troops that are here in Latvia. You've been spending money on dormitories, quality of life, and we appreciate that. The hospitality here for our servicemen and women is very much appreciated, and we thank you.